On today's episode of The Chris Hanna Show, I'm doing an encore of time audits. I think as we get to the end of the year here, it's important to make sure that people are taking a hard look at how they've spent their time throughout the year. And if you take a look at how you spend your time, there's an opportunity to tweak it and adjust it as we move into 2021. If you want to make 2021 your year, you need to make it as productive and effective as possible. That's how companies and organizations and leaders are really going to be able to take it to the next level in the year ahead. Welcome to Season 1 of The Chris Hanna Show, where we're going all in on how to improve your performance, your productivity, and your impact. Today's podcast is brought to you by my website, chrishanna.ca. There you're going to find blogs, ebooks, and coaching solutions on how to assist you with achieving your goals. You'll also find a description of some of my recent speaking topics that are currently offered. For all that and more, visit chrishanna.ca today. In the last podcast episode, I talked about the importance of working more effectively. During that episode, I specifically mentioned performing a time audit, essentially learning how one's time is spent. And I thought it was a topic worth further exploring this week because it is so important to understand where your time goes. It's the one resource that once it's gone, you can never get it back. As far as I know, there isn't a time machine to give you time back in any sort of way, so you need to maximize the time that you do have and use it accordingly with the goals that you've set out for yourself. So today's episode of The Chris Hanna Show is going to be focused a little bit more on learning how your time is spent. Regardless of what stage of your career you are at, your time gets more and more stretched with more and more responsibilities and accountability thrust upon your plate. Sometimes there's going to be a lot that you need to do, and that comes with additional challenges around how you manage time. There are situations that could be more challenging for you if you're a leader. You might have difficulty with how you handle certain fires that pop up. You might want to try and prevent some of them. And if you don't have enough time, your impact can be really thwarted from really being successful. How many of the most frequently occurring fires that you deal with can be mitigated, maybe in advance or way in advance? Do you have enough time to coach your team and help develop them? Heck, do you have enough time to develop yourself? So many people just get stuck managing an autopilot, doing whatever they think they need to do, but not really focusing on the stuff that's most important because they don't really know how they manage their time. Most people at work, I think, spend their time doing one of four things. One, they attend too many mediocre meetings that are a huge time suck. Two, they wade through a never-ending tidal wave of email because it's over-relied on in so many different organizations. Three, they touch base, they check in or shoot the breeze instead of following any sort of real structure or agenda when it comes to communicating effectively with people. And fourth, I think what really pulls people away from being effective is being interrupted or interrupting others. So you want to manage your time more effectively, you need to find a way to clean up these areas that we just talked about. So you have to know where you are spending your time in relation to that. Is there wasted effort and wasted time as a result of this? Can you be more effective? Can others around you be more effective by you making adjustments with how you do things? You don't always need to do more work either. You just need to prioritize and set goals. If you can eliminate tasks that provide little value, that's helpful too. But ultimately, you want to identify where time is wasted and eliminate those situations from happening again. So, talk about a time audit here. You want to spend at least a week documenting how you spend your time. I'd suggest the simplest way to do this is to break your day into probably 15-minute increments and create a log of what was completed. Now, the most effective way that I've seen this done is actually the old school paper and pen approach. Break your days out into these 15-minute increments and then mark down how time is spent by coding everything into categories in that 15-minute increment. So was it a meeting? Was it a task? Was it an email? Was it an interruption? Or was it a waste? So This takes an incredible amount of self-discipline to do, but the best way to do this is when you're working through the day, you finish your 15 minutes, or even looking back and reviewing the previous hour, is just put those codes together, meeting, task, email, interruption, and waste, and put those in each category or segment that you have put down on your sheet for your time audit. Now, at the end of the week, you want to add up the categories and see where your time is spent. There are going to be some shocking results, I guarantee you, the first time you do this. You might see, if you were honest with yourself, because some people struggle with this, you might see that you have more waste throughout the week than you actually realize. If you work, say, a full-time job and 40 hours a week, I've seen some people put upwards of 25 to 30% or more of their time in the waste bucket. They spend so much time on other activities, they're not getting the work done that they need to do, or it's taking longer than it probably should. I've seen a lot of other people also have a high usage of interruption time. Email and meetings are also really high up there as well. So the task category ends up being the lowest, but that's the one that actually produces maybe the most value potentially as well. Now there's other categories that you can add in depending on your role too. Like if you wanted to monitor how much coaching time you're doing specifically with people, then this could be a category you might want to add in. Monitoring yourself and holding yourself accountable to indicating what is going on each week, it can be incredibly powerful. Now, I wouldn't do any more than a week. I would try and pick a week also that you know is a standard week. So if you have a major event that's just something that's not consistently happening every week, maybe that's not a week to try and do an audit. But when you do that audit, find a way to improve your time going forward in those areas where you are concerned. That's how you can make yourself more effective. If you see that you've got a lot of meetings, it probably comes down to asking yourself and maybe those around you whether these meetings are effective. Probably the answer is no. They're not effective. You might not be needed at every meeting. Should there even been a meeting about the topic in the first place? Probably not. Your time is valuable, just like your money. So you got to spend it wisely, and sometimes you just might need to say no to that meeting. Sometimes it also comes down to just being strategic with your schedule. You got to spend time on the right priorities and what matters. Don't get bogged down with useless stuff, not worthy of your time. If it can be delegated, move it along to someone else if you have the ability to do so. Focus on the important and the urgent only. Now, interruptions are going to happen. Someone's going to stop by your desk or they're going to talk to you about something, and that's okay because I think you do need to have those moments where it's broken up. It's not possible to give 100% towards a task, and ultimately, I don't even think it's that healthy. In a future podcast episode, I'm going to talk more about my thoughts more on the 40-hour work week and how I think that is something that's extinct or that should be going extinct because at the end of the day, we don't need to work as much as we are. But when we are working, we need to find a way to make sure it's more effective. Because time is that most valuable resource that we have. We only have so much of it. Traditionally, most people work that minimum of 40 hours per week, so every moment counts. But organizations need to realize that it's results that matter, and you can achieve more effective results when your time is used more appropriately. I can accomplish more in 20 hours of focus time than I can accomplish in 40 hours. So to be more effective, prioritizing is key. If you perform a time audit on yourself, I guarantee you will find opportunities to gain more time back in your day, and you'll become more effective. If you apply this approach to time auditing and do it with your team on a regular basis, you will see tremendous results. But you have to put in the time and you have to be willing to be honest with yourself and hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you need to look in the mirror and see what others maybe see but don't say to you. You can improve. And if you improve with managing time, that is what will set you apart. You've been listening to The Chris Hanna Show. To have me speak at your next event, or for additional solutions to help you achieve more than you thought possible, visit chrishanna.ca today. For other solutions and resources designed to help companies and leaders rethink and evolve their approach to managing, be sure to check out evolvingmanagement.com. Lastly, please remember to subscribe and share to receive the latest episodes wherever you listen to your podcast. We look forward to connecting with you again soon for another episode of The Chris Hanna Show.